People of the internet, welcome back to another video. It is I, Don Thomas, back in here with another one. As always, folks, the likes, the comments, the subscribes are all greatly appreciated. Thank you so much for the support on this channel. Without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into today's topic, folks. I got a video pulled up here. It comes from a channel on YouTube called Mega Trends, in which they entitled the video, Japanese Scientists Developed Artificial Blood That's Universal. Folks, I first saw this story come across my timeline. I believe it was on Twitter. That mentioned, of course, a new discovery that Japan has embarked on, artificial blood. I found this video, a corresponding video over on YouTube that seems to be discussing the same topic. I want to share my thoughts. I encourage you guys to share your thoughts down in the comment section below. Let's get a little bit more insight on the new groundbreaking discovery of artificial blood discovered by scientists out there in Japan. Let's get some insight.
A world where no one dies waiting for a blood transfusion, where a single universal blood type can save anyone, anywhere. Sounds impossible, right? But a groundbreaking discovery from Japan is turning this dream into reality. The question is, can it overcome the challenges to revolutionize medicine forever? Every year, hospitals around the globe mount a frantic race against the clock, desperately trying to match dwindling supplies of donated blood to the exact needs of patients in crisis. Traumatic injuries from car accidents, complications in childbirth, and sudden outbreaks of disease can all create surges in demand that far outpace available reserves. In many regions, type O negative blood, the so-called universal donor, is siphoned off first, leaving a precarious imbalance that places countless lives at risk. This constraint is compounded by the tight window of viability for stored red blood cells. Once drawn, donated units must be refrigerated and used within 35 to 42 days, after which they are discarded as expired. For communities lacking good refrigeration infrastructure or reliable transport networks, the simplest transfusion can become a logistical nightmare, with life or death hanging on icy delivery trucks and distant blood banks. Within the laboratories of Nara Medical University in Japan, a team of pioneering researchers has confronted this age-old challenge with an audacious new strategy: the creation of synthetic red cell vesicles capable of carrying oxygen without any compatibility matching, and with a shelf life measured not in weeks, but in years. The concept hinges on extracting the hemoglobin, the vital oxygen-binding protein, from units of donated blood that have already passed their conventional expiration dates. Rather than allowing this precious resource to go to waste, the scientists encapsulate the hemoglobin molecules within microscopic lipid membranes, forming tiny spheres that mimic the shape and function of natural red blood cells. The crucial twist is that the encapsulation process strips away the ABO and Rh antigens, the molecular flags that normally dictate which blood types can safely be transfused into which patients. What remains is a neutral, ready-to-use oxygen transporter that, in preclinical studies, has demonstrated oxygen delivery capacity on par with native red blood cells when tested in animal models. With universal artificial blood, medical teams could carry a supply of life-saving fluid that neither spoils nor needs cross-matching, ready to deploy at a moment's notice. The Japanese team's creation has already cleared crucial preclinical hurdles, but as of spring 2025, it stands poised on the brink of a first-in-human safety trial.
All right, let's pause it right there real quick, folks. So there you heard it, folks. Basically, in a nutshell, Japan has stumbled upon a new discovery that it makes it now possible to develop artificial blood that doesn't need a blood type. Of course, you know there's different type of blood types: blood A, blood O, A negative, this, that, yada, yada, yada. This blood type, or this type of blood that, of course, scientists in Japan have developed, makes it so the shelf life of the blood lasts longer, and you don't necessarily need a specific blood type variant necessarily to take on this artificial blood. Of course, it seems universal. It can apply to everybody in situations of blood transfusions and this, that, and the other, yada, yada. Of course, they broke down the different benefits of having readily accessible blood at your disposal. What do I think, folks? For me personally, all things into consideration, yeah, they'll talk about the benefits and what it could do and what does this mean for healthcare and this, that. Does it overcome, do we not have to take, medications and this, that, blah, 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 vaccines, blah, 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 all this extra stuff. It's a hard no for me, folks, in my personal opinion. Even just when I first originally heard the headline, it was a hell no for me. Learning about it more, hearing about the proposed benefits and what it could do and what does it mean and, the shelf life and how long it lasts and blah, 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 blah. It's still going to be a hard no for me, folks, and I'll tell you why. Right now, we have artificial intelligence. We have artificial food. We have artificial everything. You name it, it feels like there's artificial everything. At the rate at which we'll go, and you might as well just say we'll all just be robots. What are we leaving to be real is basically what I'm saying. If we have Everything artificial. Artificial food, artificial people, artificial news, artificial everything, artificial blood. What do we want to be organic, real, human? Guys, we're going to artificial our way out of existence at the rate at which we're moving. We're going to artificial so much until we just like, no more humans at the rate at which we're moving. Now, again, folks will say, oh, nah, but this is a good thing, bro. Now you could, get blood and donations. There's not enough blood donations and people not donating, good blood. And even if they do donate blood, the storage life of blood, of course, you saw in the video in the beginning half, it's only a few days, right? It's only a few days. When you do the natural blood, shelf life, it has a few days. This new artificial blood that they're developing and that they're talking about lasts for years, 1 to 2 years, I think they said. And it doesn't need a specific type. It's one size fits all blood with this artificial blood that they're developing out there in Japan. Folks, off of what I've been told thus far, a little bit of research that I've seen, we both just watched the video just now, I'm going to still lean on the side of hell no for me personally. Why? Because I think we need to draw the line somewhere. Where do we draw the line? Where do we draw the line at artificial? Like, are we going to reserve some things for the real? Like, all right, this is organic, this is real, this is a human, or are we just going to slowly but surely outsource everything to artificial? You see what we're doing with artificial intelligence. Now you got to second guess everything that you come across on the internet for fear of it being artificial. You got ChatGPT and other platforms that are doing people's homework and passing exams and filling out itineraries. Things that you used to depend on a human for, you can now turn to AI to do it. So AI technology. Speak about food from time to time. You got GMO, things being grown in a lab, and artificial chicken and artificial eggs and artificial burgers and artificial. So you put that to the side as well too. Artificial blood now, this, that, and the other. What are we leaving to be 100% human-made, authentic? Where do we draw the line? Is basically what I'm saying. At the rate at which we're moving, folks, you'll be a rare species to be a human. 100% organically made human. Slowly but surely, at the rate at which we're moving, you would be a unicorn. You would be the rarest species if you're like, wait, what? You're still a human? You're not merged with the cyborg just yet? You don't have a chip in your brain? You don't, wait, what? You're a human? You'll be the rare one. Is that the direction that we want to go? I'm just posing this question. Is this the direction that we want to go? Again, folks, as I said as well too, I've been saying this for some time. I don't really see that much longevity for the human species moving forward. I've been saying this for some time. I think we have a solid maybe 10 years, 5, 10 max in the year 2025. Where do we draw the line? What does society look like if everything is artificial at the rate at which we're moving? What does human-to-human interaction look like? Human connections, to be able to touch, feel, speak, enjoy humans, intimacy, things of that nature. What does that look like if we're on an upward trajectory of outsourcing everything to robots and softwares and artificial blood and food? And what are we leaving to be organic is basically the question that I'm posing. It's a hell no for me, folks. You could say this is technological advances. You could say, hey, man, don't fight the science. Or you could say whatever you want to say. But as a human, right, from one human to another, I would use this as a cautionary tale to tell us that the days ahead of us look a little bit bleak. The days ahead of us, we've all seen the movies. Sometimes, I said this as well too, sometimes we just dismiss things as movies. Oh, that was just a movie, man. We've seen this in a movie, we've seen that in a movie. But if we take anything away from the movies that we come across in our history, in popular U.S. culture, just anywhere in the world, we see how this stuff typically ends for the most part, right? Viruses and outbreaks and this, that, and the other. Like, I feel a way about getting blood anyway, like, let alone artificial blood. I don't know the last time I've given blood. Of course, you do blood tests and things of that nature, but in situations where one needs blood injected into them, that's even a scary thing in itself. Again, going back to 2020 and the capabilities of vaccines and implementing things into the bloodstream, right? And if you guys know about nanobots and well too, do your research on nanobots and how that implements into your body and how that can disfigure your whole from the inside out. The capabilities of some of the technology that's available through things injected into your body through your bloodstream. Do your research before you're opening and welcoming in these new ideas and new technologies with open arms. Do your research, folks. The capabilities that are happening within the world right now, it's a little bit scary. So I would advise us all to maybe pump the brakes on some of these things and ask ourselves, is this the direction that we want to go in? And if so, what does that mean for the human species moving forward? For the long run, for the longevity? What does this mean for your grandchildren and their children moving forward if everything is artificial? Those are my thoughts, folks. Of course, I want to hear yours down in the comment section below. As always, the likes, the comments, and subscribes are all greatly appreciated. I will catch you guys on the next one.